Hi. So a friend of mine had recently walked into this store and he wanted to buy a pair of sneakers. So before he could go deeper into the store, he was greeted by a touch screen where he got recommendations in his size and preferred color choices based on his online browsing history. Now, so he was very impressed and just a little bit freaked out. And that is the power and paradox of what AI today really is. So, we are seeing how AI is transforming every touch point, seen and unseen, between brands and buyers. And so, since we're talking about storefront to the service journey, I'd like to start with Mr. Kiran Komatla. Sir, could you tell us some AI use cases for the QSR industry, since we all know you're a titan there? And over to you. Oh, I'm sorry. Over to you.
Yeah. Hi. Hello. Good afternoon. I'm Kiran Komatla. I'm a Group Chief Technology Officer at. Hello. Yeah. Good afternoon. I'm Group Chief Technology Officer at Restaurant Brand Asia. So we operate Burger King restaurants in India, and we also operate Burger King and Popeyes restaurants in Indonesia market. So QSR is one of the most stressful retail where the check size is less and you have a lot of walk-ins every day, and you have to day in day out interact with customers. You should make sure customer walks out happily, understand, personalize. So all these are challenges, as well as the brand standards which has to be maintained. Today's world, if you see from last maybe a decade, we can see a lot of adoption of technologies which made our lives easy. For a simple example, like there used to be a point of sale where customers used to stand in a queue, 4 or 5 customers are in a queue, and the hungry customer at back will get frustrated because of someone is wasting the time. So it's been solved by technology by just putting some self-ordering kiosk or just allowing customer to scan a QR code and order from their mobile apps. So that's how some of these technologies has really changed the way how customer is interacting with brands like us. And then when it comes to the experience and understanding the customer, getting some personalization, there are so many use cases like creating a loyalty ecosystem, identifying the customer, and then with technology penetration, it also comes with different challenges. Like now what happened is the touch points have been widely spread. Today, a customer is not coming to your retail outlets. He's sitting at home ordering on aggregator platform. So, but I have to make sure that they get the very similar customer experience, no matter who is delivering, who is ordering from which platform. We should know the customer and we should maintain the same experience. So it's not easy. It's a challenging journey. Similarly, different channels like people try to order on our own assets, like we have mobile apps. And today, if you see, almost most of the orders in QSR industry moved to almost like 40% of orders are coming with which are not even coming into a lobby of your restaurant. They are ordering from some other touch points outside our restaurants. So now the first journey where we have to see is how can we create some omni-channel experience, or how to identify the customer from each different touch points. So that's the journey where we are. And when this journey is going on, now the big wave came in the market is AI, how you are going to adopt AI, how AI can be used. So to my opinion, or to my view, we made this AI adoption into a sensible step-by-step process, not just jumping into something. We have categorized customer experience front is one of the key area where we wanted to leverage AI. Since we are kind of an organization with large white-collar, blue-collar employees stretch across pan-India, so providing them a proper training and maintaining the brand standards is one of the key area where we are leveraging this AI. And within your assets, either it's your lobby or it's your digital assets, how you are interacting to the customer. Just she started with a point saying that when a customer come to a retail outlet, some screen is talking to them. Similarly, for us, it's not only retail space. You go into any of our touch points, like you open a mobile app, it should be very intuitive and it should be able to help you out instantly. Because today's customers' patience level is very less. And today's world is less than 6 seconds, just like your what do you say, shorts, reels. If anything you wanted to tell or give more after 6 seconds, that's useless for this generation. Okay.
So, so from what I understand, because you're the subject matter expert, but customer expectation and personalization are, what the AI journey is all about for now in the QSR industry. Of course, as you said, there are behind the scenes use cases as well in terms of staff training, etc. But coming from a very different perspective, which is D2C and, it is women's health. How do you use AI to personalize the customer's journey?
Hey, can you hear me? Yeah. So I think for us at Noah, we don't, I would say we've not fully leveraged the power of AI yet. But I think the use case is very strong for us. The reason is in the women's wellness space, especially the kind of place we're in, it's a very intimate space. I think the conversations we have with customers is generally very, I would say, very intimate in nature. So what we look for when customers come to us is really asking us those questions, and personalization is a very central angle to that, especially in a direct-to-consumer journey. Not as much on the other channels, obviously. So simple example is if you come to our website today, if you could just, we have something called a period quiz, a period guide. So a woman can actually, based on a few questions we ask her, based on her patterns of whether it's her cycle or her flow, we're actually we're actually able to give her a very personalized set of products that are relevant to her. For example, if it's a woman who loves swimming, then maybe tampons is a better answer than, let's say, pads, right? So those kind of things, and even getting into a little bit of detail in terms of, for example, based on her flow and things like that. So I think we're able to give a lot more personalized answer. I definitely think AI could play a really big role as far as that's concerned in managing that as well. So I think that's where, in our space, it could play a really big role, right? So.
Of course, basic cycle tracking and yeah. So, Pooja, from your perspective, how is AI shaping the way retailers understand and serve individual customers across touch points?
See, one of the things that we were even discussing in the background is like today, customers don't need a lot to just jump ship, from one brand to the other. It's all about are they getting their value for money over there, and are they happy with the brand? So we are seeing a lot of, I would say, investments coming in from the retail as well as the consumer goods market space, which is very focused on, let me understand first which audience works for me, which is the market segment that works for me, getting visibility on, trying to connect the entire journey. So if a customer starts their journey on, let us say, a website, and they end it at the store, which is very common nowadays. Everyone wants to do it, specifically if it's a luxury good item or if it's like a clothing item, right? We usually see that, shoes, whatever the legs may be. So when you're doing any of that, we see a lot of this happening, that the wow factor comes in when you can actually continue your journey. You don't have to, when you walk into a store, you don't have to go ahead and say, I am Pooja, this is my size, this is what I'm looking for. It just starts off, oh, you're Pooja, okay, basic contact, maybe a mobile number or something. Oh yeah, I see you liked something, I see you picked up this size, but I think this is a better option for you. So the ability to power the conversation in the store with your historic journey till now, giving the support to the store persona, the persona, as well to give you a visibility on, guiding them to how to make that sale, not letting the footfall go waste. And even to the effect that if we're seeing a lot of retailers focusing on that, to the point that even if for whatever reason the journey doesn't end at that store, continuing it again and closing it on the digital media. So ensuring that once you get the customer on hook, however it might be, because there's so much marketing rupees being spent on capturing customer attention, ensuring that once you have it, you do not lose it. So be wherever the customer is. Leverage AI to connect the journey, build those recommendations, as Abhishek was also saying. Focus on the fact that you're giving them the right experience at the right time. Exactly what Kamal mentioned as well. It's all about just getting in that particular zone. So how do you work with all the data you have and give the right recommendations at the right time to the customer or to the personnel who's supporting the customer at that point?
Devang, if I can jump to you right now, when we are talking about an omni-channel integration of sorts, what does a truly seamless storefront look like to you?
Yeah, so uh, uh, we actually Style Bazaar. We are a value fashion retailer and predominantly in eastern part of the country. On the storefront AI, actually today we are working on some solutions through the help of AI, how to streamline the store operation first. I'm talking about brick and mortar stores, right? So to streamline the store operations with a store opening, actually the store managers are following the certain checklist. Before a store opening, your floor should be clean, cartons should not be there on the floor. All inventory which you have got from suppliers or maybe from DC, whether it is actually processed and displayed to the floor. So we are actually working on a solution where we are going to capture all those activities through a AI-based tool. Okay. We are also working on a solution where the display, the visual merchandise, where the display on the floor is happening as per the plan or not. Okay. So these kind of AI-enabled tools we are working for a customer experience part. The another part is we are also working to get a demographic count of the customers. The cash counters, how the cash counters are managed, whether do we have sufficient manpower at the cash counter at the peak business hour to service the customers, right? So we have all these actually AI-enabled tools we are working on. Only part which we are missing today, like online, you have all the footprints. When a customer is there on the on your online portal, you have all the footprints right from their login, their browsing history, maybe the cart which is selected, what are the items they have actually selected in the cart, deleted from the cart. So you have all the data available, which is missing in an offline scenario, in a brick and mortar, right? And that's where actually I think the technology partners have to actually work on and come up with the solutions, right? Yeah.
Right. So Devang, we've heard the brand perspective now from Vikash. Now you give us the technology perspective to this. Are we achieving storefront to service a seamless omni-channel integration journey?
Yeah, so basically, as of today also, all retailers generate a lot of data. Now, this data can be used for decision making, for optimization, for better visibility. There are a lot of use cases in the entire supply chain. We are talking about the storefront, but it actually starts from the point where the data first gets generated, and then how you can improve and optimize it. So, right, AI is basically a long journey. It's going to be a learning process because the algorithm also, as you generate more and more data, will keep on improving, and then your results will be much more better once you implement it. So right from produce recognition to a lot of decision making to optimizing operations, there are a lot of use cases. Like, see, we have been working with a lot of data. We are partners with Zebra, with Diebold. So we generate a lot of data as soon as the goods enter the supply chain till you actually do a checkout. And at different use cases, there is a lot of options to use AI. We are already doing it. I'll give you an example. We accidentally jumped upon a good opportunity since we have been doing RFID implementations for the fashion retail. There's a big problem of switching, pilferage, etc. across all retailers. So here AI plays a very nice role because then as you start putting some AI engine inside, you can tweak your POS software to actually make the operator do certain things on a random basis. Now this if you program it, then they figure out that what is going to happen. But using AI, you can play smart and suddenly he knows this time for this one checkout, I need to follow a 3-step process instead of a 1-step process. So this is where AI actually plays a big role. Similarly, attrition is a general problem across all industry, but retail has bigger attrition problem because they compete with the e-commerce guys and the same set of people are working. So again, for your LLMs, your learnings, so that you give the same customer experience to all the customers, irrespective to whether your teams are changing and you maintain the same SOP, AI plays a very big role in LLM. I'm sure, Pooja, you'll agree with that.
Yeah, yeah.
So there are a lot of use cases. I mean, the time is short. We can go on this.
Take a couple of minutes extra. It's okay. Pooja, you'd like to chime in here.
Yeah, so just to his point, the whole point is that we're hearing, I mean, I don't really know, there's a lot of jargons that keep coming up, right? Like AI, LLM and everything. But so the biggest part that starts off is the data, right? And all the retailers have this amount of data. How do you make the data work for you? And so that is where the entire concept of the large language model, the LLM, comes in. How do you then train that data to give you the recommendations you want? Whether it is that, what are the kind of, for example, the menu I need, let us say in a Ramzan season versus a Christmas season, what are the right recommendations for that? What is the right probably the cycle evaluation that I have for people in metros versus non-metros, how would that actually track out as well? What are the kind of, storefront merchandising I need to keep for someone looking for, let us say, a wedding outfit versus someone looking at, let's say, for a corporate outfit. That is the kind of AI infusion you can get if you let your data work for you. So wherein earlier on it was all based on experience. Like we have so many people who have 20, 25 years of experience in the company who say, I know it's a rainy season, this is what's going to work, this is the right set, the context and everything. Now it's where your AI can actually come in, leverage the data that's already there, work with the person who actually has that intel, run that feedback loop, and start giving you a lot of these inputs a lot more effectively. So it's not just restricted to that one person who has the tenure, but everybody who's dealing with the customer, every channel you are targeting towards the customer, whether it's on a WhatsApp message you're sending, which campaign should be sent to which customer, understanding as well that which market needs to be focused on as well. So all of that comes in with that. Yeah.
So I'd just like to add, see, I'll tell you, I just recollected. Now you have instances, it could be either food, grocery, or even garments, places where your tags are not visible, your labels are not there, or it's been damaged, destroyed because you handle a lot of merchandise. So produce recognition and all these places are also where AI plays a good role.
But it's interesting because you both talk about algorithm and data, using the data correctly. But, as a customer and specifically for maybe food service and fashion, I would like to know, doesn't the algorithm sort of limit me? You will keep throwing up the same choices again and again, Would you not want to give me like a wider spectrum of the menu or maybe different styles? How do you sort of deal with those kind of customer expectations?
Yeah,
Kiran,
so yeah,
take that.
okay.
Yeah.
So we keep introducing new products in the menu,
Right.
and it's not our choice to push. It's like what customer accepts. So we read these data samples, and then we keep optimizing the menu. So once we introduce something that, especially in India, the taste palette is completely different from geographic. We are very diversified. So like if you talk about principally the brand is very, what you say, it's a non-spicy food across the world. But when it comes to India, it is a different palette, right? Similarly, there is nothing called a veg concept international market. But in India, more than 50% of our sandwiches are veg sandwiches. So this we read from the data, we take samples, we understand, and what works in which, if you take between comparison between a north part of India and south part of India, east part of India, west part, there's a lot of difference of vegetarian versus non-vegetarian. So this all comes from your data within your organization, within your industry, and how you are leveraging is makes a big sense. That's it.
But Abhishek, would this hold true for women's health as well? Because you know, a period product would be a period product. Or
Yeah, no, I think I really like that example that he gave because I think obviously in food and maybe even fashion, there's a lot more variety. I think in our case, it's, and I'm sure the women in this audience will also agree that no two periods are the same, right? So I think, yeah, right? So I think one of the things we cracked very early on, in fact, in our direct to consumer journey was what we said is, let's customize the box of sanitary. Woman can come to a website and then essentially choose, make her own box, build her own box based on, customize her own box based on her flow, and she subscribes to it, and then she can change it month on month depending on her flow, right? So the thing is, while yes, you're right. I mean, in the sense that a pad is a pad, but in a way it's not really, because in the sense that the flow could be different month. I'm just giving this as an example, but that's true across all the other products and sort of things that we work with as well, right? So I think personalization is a very, very important aspect in our category, right? And I think that's something that how you're able to use it as a brand and to be able to scale is really where the key is. I think that's essentially where we've been able to use personalization to drive both acquisition but also retention. I think retention is way higher when you're able to when you're giving the customer the control and saying, hey, look, it's in your hands, you go, you can choose whatever you want, and customers love that. Yeah.
just to wrap it up, I mean, I'm curious if you would want to completely automate, say, one area of your retail journey, which one would you sort of choose? Completely automated. Anybody, any one of you. Yeah.
Yeah, for us actually, we really actually would like to automate the inventory management part. And as Devang told, actually, RFID is emerging technology, right? But still, I see the acceptance in Indian retail is not much. I have not seen any successful rollout Devang as of now in Indian retail, right? But yes, I must see that if you actually have a successful RFID implementation, your inventory visibility, availability of the inventory to the floor, and a lot of your pilferage, the accounting error can be actually sorted out.
Yeah, and omni-channel, if you want to truly leverage omni-channel, if you want to use your same inventory for as a dark store also. So all these tools together, it's a journey. You can't achieve it in short. So basically it's a journey, it's a learning process for people like us who are offering solutions. It's a learning process for people who are absorbing this. So it's a journey that everyone has to go through.
But do Salesforce and Marks think that retailers are ready to, let AI run things autonomously?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's actually surprising. It's interesting actually that retailers, whether they are the old school ones or the new age ones, are actually adopting it quite well. Everyone's journey is different, but everyone is very interested in, how do we leverage, as I said, the whole point of AI is that how do I actually understand my customers better? How do I understand what's selling better? How do I understand how do I price this better? How do I understand how do I market this better? Everyone wants these responses, and using AI on your data set is the best way to achieve it. Everyone is doing this in some shape or form. It's just a different journey or a different avenue that they're targeting. Some start with marketing, some start with direct customer relations, some start with the storefront, but it is going on. So I think they are on the crux of it. It's just about how soon they actually achieve the end-to-end journey that comes through.
So one question to the brands, which is a big barrier in AI adoption, something that's really challenging for you.
Yeah, I think quick thing. I mean, for us, as much as AI is useful in many things in terms of automation and personalizing the user journey, there's some aspects of it. For example, a customer still prefers on an intimate conversation, she'd rather still be talking to a human being, right? So I think I definitely don't see the use case for AI. And even if there was, I would still want to have a human being interact. So I think there are some, it could be, for example, a mother comes to the website and saying, what is the right product? Or I'm having this issue with my daughters, she's just about to enter puberty, how can you help me out? I prefer if it's a human conversation. So I would say it's not really a blocker, but it's a little bit more of a conscious choice that we would take as a brand to be able to do that. It's very, very specific to our use case.
Yeah, to my mind, when it comes to QSR, first of all, we have a larger problem to address is how can we create a omni-channel experience, or you can call a uni-channel experience. The customer coming on different touch points, platforms should get first the same experience, and then I can leverage my loyalty part of it, my customer CDP layer, and then I can read customer well and help them. So that part AI can help, but the first part has to be sorted out. This is one of the area. Then personalization, understanding, that and all will become much easier. So we are more trying to address that when it comes to the customer side. Because until unless you have a right set of data, this kind of powerful engines may go wrong also. There are certain use cases like customer may throw sarcasm, but it can be read as a compliment. So until unless you read the data properly, you may go wrong. So these are the areas where it's again emotion and sensitivity with the customer. If that is not addressed properly, it may backfire. So.
Thank you so much on that interesting note. And I keep seeing Devang and Vikas having side conversations, which I'm going to find out about later in the speakers lounge. Thank you so much for joining me all today on this really, really insightful panel.